Even though I'm off the coast of Nicaragua on a little Colombian island called San Andreas, I wanted to bring you my 1 month recap of my trip in Bali, Indonesia. It's about time I get it to you. Let's do it. Canggu has amazing restaurants and it's known a little bit more for the party scene. It's also a world famous surf spot. And I'm paying right now, I think about 40 bucks a night for this room in Canggu, which is minutes away from the beach and some of the best clubs here in Bali. The room is really all I need. It's got a TV, which of course I never use because I'm only watching YouTube videos. Got a sweet balcony. Coming on into the bathroom, it's nice and clean. They give me new towels every day. And the shower's got great water pressure. One thing you gotta know when in Bali, do not drink the tap water. There's a thing called Bali belly, and for whatever reason, if you drink the tap water, you can get a bug. Let's hop outside and I'll show you guys the terrace. I was planning on actually making this video here in the first place. I've stayed in a couple of different spots in Bali. Honestly, in the 5 weeks I've been here, I've only had one rainy day. Every other day has been beautiful. The sunsets are unreal. You're really able to get pretty great quality food for a low amount of money. Now, it's not as cheap as Thailand. You're still gonna only pay $6 to $8 to maybe $10 and get completely full on a meal. There's places called warungs, which are local small restaurants that'll serve you a meal for $2 to $3 to $4. And one of the most popular meals out here is the nasi goreng or mee goreng. And nasi goreng is kind of like an egg and rice dish, and the mee goreng is a noodle and egg dish with some extra things on the side. And that's one of the local Balinese dishes that you can get pretty much everywhere. I still prefer Thai food a bit more, and it was cheaper when I was in Thailand. But there are some of the most chic, fancy, cool artisan restaurants with all your avocado toast and just all the cool salmon bagels and capers, anything that you could really imagine. From sushi to steaks, I've had some of the best food I've ever tasted in my life out here, especially some of the restaurants some of my friends showed me. Just blew me away. And there's always fun people to go out with on dates when you're here as well. There's people looking to meet others, and you can go find yourself a hot date, enjoy the night on the town, and then hit the beach for sunset and a coconut. It just doesn't get much better than the island life out here in Bali. So I spent my other 3 weeks in Uluwatu. By far, I loved Uluwatu's beaches a lot more. So if you're looking for a more relaxed, chill spot, stay in Uluwatu. It's about an hour and a half away from Canggu. And when you're here, go get yourself a motor scooter. It's only about 60 to 80,000 rupiah per day, which is literally like $4 to $6 a day. And you can have your own motor scooter, and it's the most freeing feeling you could ever hope to have while out here in Southeast Asia. But one of the main reasons you're gonna want that motor scooter is because if you're sitting in a car, the traffic is pretty crazy here. One thing I didn't realize was that there's really kind of one road to and from a lot of different places in the main areas in Bali. And if you're in a car, you'll be stuck in traffic for a long time. Like a 1 hour ride could turn into 2 hours pretty easily. But when you have your motor scooter, you just weave in and out between cars and stuff. It's not as sketchy as you think as long as you got some skills, and you can get places quite a bit faster. Now, one of the coolest clubs down in Uluwatu was Savaya. This is a world famous, amazing club where some of the top DJs are playing almost every weekend. I think while I was here, Kygo was playing, Jason Derulo, and some other crazy artists were out there. And you'll just see some of the bombest people that you've ever seen. If you're looking to find yourself a new girlfriend, come to Bali. There's so many awesome people from all around the world, and they're traveling because they've set themselves free in one way or another. And a lot of people, you'd be surprised what their jobs are, and you can start networking. At some of these clubs and parties, I've been able to meet awesome people that own yacht companies out in Spain. I've met some huge Amazon FBA people. I've been hanging out with Kevin David a bunch. We actually just did a weekend trip in Gili T, which is another fun, amazing, famous island just about 2 hours by boat away from Bali. And they have this underwater statue that's super cool and famous. Went out there with Kevin and like 12 buddies, and we just lit it up. Check out Miss Fish. It's a really upscale bar slash restaurant, and you're just gonna hear awesome music. The music scene here is amazing. The food is amazing. Honestly, I kind of preferred Uluwatu because of my chilled, laid-back personality. And just because driving places, you're just driving through these awesome roads in the jungle, and there's just so much nature around you everywhere and hardly any traffic. There's cats, dogs, monkeys, there's wildlife everywhere. I haven't felt unsafe for like half a second out here in any of my travels in the last 6 months, whether it be Dubai or really anywhere else, whether it's nighttime. Doesn't matter. I haven't seen any fights break out or any kind of issues. I honestly feel less safe in America, as weird as that sounds. Now, the one thing about the beaches that blew my mind was that in Canggu, there's actually pretty much just dark sand beaches. So when I'm in Uluwatu, I'm seeing the nice white sand beaches, just like I had expected to see all over Bali, but some of the beaches are just not as nice as I had hoped for. The water in Canggu, because of that dark sand, kind of spits up a lot of dark murkiness in the water. So if you want to swim or surf, be in Uluwatu, and the waves here are way bigger than I thought. When I came from Phuket, Thailand, which every beach had perfect white sand, they weren't dirty, the water is crystal clear, and there's not really that big of waves that you have to watch out for. But here, one of my favorite beaches in Uluwatu is called Dreamland Beach, and it's literally a dream. It was the first beach I ever walked onto when I was out here in Bali, and it was unbelievable. The cliffs is another cool thing that you'll see at the beaches. There's huge cliffs and just monumental rock structures everywhere, right leading into an amazing beach, and you'll see surfers everywhere. So Bali for me leaves a lot more to be discovered. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to some of the top spots I needed to really see that were on my list, like Nusa Penida, which is one of the most world famous beaches out there with an awesome rock structure and crystal clear water, and also Ubud, which is pretty much a yoga retreat out in the jungle, the rice terraces. And I am gonna do a full breakdown of this entire cost of my 6-month trip. I've kept every dollar amount that I've spent on Airbnbs, flights, miscellaneous, ATM withdrawals, credit card spend, everything that I've done for each location that I've done in Vietnam, Thailand, Dubai. It's all written down on my spreadsheet, and I'm gonna make a special video showing you guys how much I actually spent. And just a heads up, it's so far less than $20,000 in total that I've spent on a 6-month trip jumping around the world. So a pretty awesome deal to have a once-in-a-lifetime experience like this, and I could have done it for even cheaper, but I think I spent like $6,000 in 1 month in Dubai just because I went out shopping, and then I hopped over to Southeast Asia and everything just dropped off significantly in price.